That looked weird. How's it going? Titus Forge, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in, and welcome in. I feel like the setup looks different, like it changed a little bit on me. Let's see, we're supposed to be, NB says hi, you guys. We're supposed to be multicast on YouTube, so let me make sure that's all set up. So it says a mirror. Little bit. How's it going? Mm. Nonies? Is that how we say? Catches by Kathy. How we doing? Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, guys. I'll make sure we're on the deal here. Um, it feels like I've been gone forever. I don't know. It felt like a really long weekend. Maybe could well, did anyone else feel like they had a long weekend? I know summer just kicked off. Those of us with kids had well, up in Washington, we just had the last week of school this last week. And so come Friday, everybody was off for Juneteenth and like all the kids were home. And now it's just like kids from here on out. And so I don't know, it was productive, but it felt like the weekend just kind of dragged forever. I ended up with yesterday off too to get some, go to the dentist and get some fillings and stuff. Good times. Tober, how you doing? Paige, welcome in. Thanks for the share, Tober. 2912 Supply Co. That sounds cool. What do you supply, 2912? Let me make sure we're live. We are live. Heck yeah. Figuring out this YouTube thing. I don't think there's much for engagement over there. However, we're trying to get the hours in for the YouTubes. And so let me mute that. Mute. And okay. I think we're good to go there. We're going to talk about, I feel a little bit off today because I was brainstorming last night. Upcycle. Ooh, okay. Hold on. I live in Razorback tees and hoodies, so please hold while I check out your stuff over there. It's going to kill the music for just a second. Does 2912 stand for something? Is that a, well, hello. Zoya? Is it pronounced Zoya? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, hello. First show is Friday, but have a couple things listed. Heck yeah. Let me go. Let me go snoop. Let me give you a follow here. Love me some. Oh, you kidding me? Dibs on the Carhartt upcycle. What? You guys, let me turn this off so you can see what I'm seeing right quick. Look at this. Would you look at that? Look how dope. That's what I'm talking about. There's another one. There's another one. I'm already a fan. Supply Co. I'm already a fan. That is exciting. Heck yeah. What Liz likes, welcome in. I'm serious. That's super exciting. I don't, you guys, I'm a funny shopper. I shop two polar opposite ends of the realm. I either shop at Goodwill and just take donations from anyone and everyone, or I want like the handmade, like I'll pay for the things that I really, really like. Nothing in between. Not really anything in between. It's like one or the two, best of both worlds. Found you through, oh, that's awesome. A big fan of Liz. Her chat shows and her soaps is the business. So that makes me happy. Thanks for coming in here. We are here every Tuesday. If anyone, I know there's some incognitos in here. Hello, happy Tuesday. Uh, we're here every Tuesday talking about something different, live selling. No Bible whatsoever. I'm trying to find my music again. No Bible whatsoever. Well, hello, YouTube. Thanks for the hearts and stuff. Welcome in. I'm in Bremerton, Washington. Bremerton, Washington, Pacific Northwest. Hello, hello. Oh, you guys so friendly. You guys so friendly. I'm new to the YouTube thing, so we're still getting acclimated to like monitoring both the conversations if I'm too slow over there, please feel free to follow that link over to the Whatnot. It's fun over here. Plus, you get money for signing up, to not even to use here, just to use wherever on the app. So feel free. Otherwise, I'll try to monitor the both of them. Let me see what happened to my music here. There we go. Okay, it just got like really quiet for some reason. Weird. Okay, anywho, so we're here every Tuesday talking about live selling, something different. No, oh, you're so sweet. No Bible or anything, just some random thoughts each week that I'm kind of chewing on. And last night I was brainstorming some stuff. Oh, no kidding. I did not know that, Liz. I'm literally the ferry ride across from Seattle. I actually lived in Seattle for a hot minute in my early adulthood, my 19, 20, 21 era. Yeah, it's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. Washington's funny because Seattle is like the biggest city, but it's not the capital, but it's like the main city that everybody knows, and it's the major port, and it's the most populated. And so there's a whole culture with Seattle. I don't know the percentage, but I know the Seattle metropolitan area carries a heavy weight as far as the population, like for the whole state. And like everywhere around Seattle is like woodsy for the most part, like outdoorsy and more rural and spread out and stuff. So it's like a really odd blend. Makes for some there's lots of socks and sandals, lots of rainbow children, but there's also tie-dye and flannel. One big happy family. It's very weird, but kind of something for everybody. I like it here, but there's pros and cons. TJ, how you doing? How you doing? Represents the state to the, yeah, right, yeah, yes, I understand that. Holy, I understand that wholly. Let me know if the music's too quiet or too loud. It's like doing something different today. I don't know what that's doing, but either case. So we're talking about different stuff each Tuesday, and last I do have an update or two, but last night I was brainstorming better ways. You guys, those live sellers in here, you understand that they're this cycle thing, probably like every once in a while you kind of like get a flow of things, and then you kind of have to like take a hard pause and like kind of change stuff up as you're evolving and trying to figure out like build your foundation and this kind of stuff. Country Bougie, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. And so you got to kind of like reset every once in a while and just make sure that like everything is effective and efficient that you're doing, and reevaluate your whole process and like everything that you're doing. You kind of got to put everything on the table and just like look at it and decide like what needs to go, what needs to come in, like does this make sense, like my time money continuum, like all this kind of stuff. And so that's what I was doing last night. And because I was like summer hit, like I was saying a little bit ago, summer hit. And so shout out to all the parents with kids that are going to be home during their during the whole summer, that will have to balance with their Whatnot, right? Because typically my Whatnot schedule is probably like most, whereas like as soon as the kids go to school, you're like, okay, now let me handle business. But then when your kids are home, you're like guilty. You just feel all this guilt of like ignoring them all day. And then like I work evenings, and so um it's like all day and all evening. I can't be like totally offline because like I have to raise my kids too. And so Junkie Frames artwork, good name. Make sure I'm following you. Okay. And so there's this like balance, right? And like I know I'm not the only parent that got the whole Maple, how's it going? I know I'm not the only oh, Maple. I don't know if I told you that first NFC tag, the second layer of lacquer like completely washed away what was left of the image. But look what I discovered. The NFC tags scan through actual real wood, solid wood. totally scannable, doesn't skip a beat. And so we're in business with the wood blend on the NFC tags. Very excited. Run it. You know what? Okay, so one of the things we're just talking about scheduling stuff. A little bit of a work in progress, but I think I'm debating between either Tuesday or Wednesday. There's going to be wood sales. Um, and probably some random pop sockets because I'm having way too much fun with those with like the NFC tags and stuff. And so soon we're gonna have stuff like listed and be adults about that portion. This will definitely be in there, but I have to set out the schedule fully. But Courtney, welcome in. So what was I saying? So summer, I don't know. So schedules are weird, and it occurred to me like because we're doing these Tuesday chats as the anchor, and then we're doing YouTube daily, and then I have like a side quest that I'm doing, and it finally occurred to me to like uh, a way to align all those things, and so like essentially we're going over something on Tuesday, and then I can like break it up and dive deeper into those like topics. So today we're going to talk about the live sales experience, right? And then I can like break it down or expand on each of the bullets essentially over on the YouTube. And I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but long story short, figuring out, I highly recommend anyone to like really dissect the operations and like use the summer slowdown, right? Or, post holiday slowdown or whenever it's convenient, once or twice a year at least, to like really evaluate like where can I combine things or what can I get rid of or how can I evolve this foundation so that it works better for me because um long story short, I unlocked something last night that's going to like allow me to spend time with my kids this summer. And I was like super stressed about it. And now I'm like, oh, okay. Because my work gets busy during the summer too. And so usually I'm whatnotting from work for about 2 or 3 hours. And now I'm not going to be able to because I'm actually going to be busy. Mama Z, how you doing? West of I-5. Hi, babe. Hello, hello. And Maymar, welcome in. Black Lab, welcome in. Thanks for the follows, you guys. And so I say that to say, typically I'm scrambling the night before to figure out what the talking point is going to be for the Tuesday chat outside of when it's like a whatnot topic. And so now there's a system in place so that basically the talking points are going to be I may or may not add them to the thumbnails early, but basically the talking points for the next 3 months or 4 months are like planned out. And so it should make for like a smoother operation and smoother chats. But that said, since this is the first one, it's going to be a little bit squirrely. But what I'm going to try to do is like bring stuff here first and then articulate it a little better and a little deeper in the YouTube videos. So it's like split apart. And because those I try to keep to like 5-10 minutes. And so, anywho, you guys, we're talking about the live sales experience today. I think that sellers, especially all the newcomers to the platform, have like this big learning curve initially for just the pure difference in traditional online sales to live sales because they are not the same. And we see that it takes a while for us to acclimate and like really pick out what are the differences because literally we have to reshape our business model based on this new environment because we've never had um small business owners have never had the platform to connect pretty much globally. Very different, right? We can connect pretty much globally in real time, and we're like we're like filter free with, which is why it's so freaking scary for people to start in the, push go live the first time, because it's like you can feel it that you're just like so exposed, and like anybody can come in your room. It's like, you know, anyone maybe local to you that you went to high school with. It could be like people in totally other states. It could be people from Canada. Like there's just a whole hodgepodge of people. And it's just a really different experience. Like usually with online sales, we're like worried about, having like a massive inventory that we can list beautifully on the Etsy's and the eBays and all the static listing platforms. And so we like get our comps and, list for the price points that we want. And that's kind of that profit margin. And holding on to value is kind of the name of the game. Where um with live sales, we're it's in my view, it's like the opposite. Like we're trying to turn inventory, and we're trying to we're trying to sell the products in person, like face to face, instead of like behind listings. And I don't know. It seems like it's like there's just a massive learning curve with it. And so that's kind of in general what we're going to talk about today. I have it broken up. Still something I'm kind of chewing on fully, but I have it broken up into three different experiences that we see, or lenses that we can kind of look at live cells, which is like the personal experience of the seller when we come on to, when we like step into this platform and this like, um, this new online space, right? And then just soaking it up when we're just like, what is going on here? What is everybody doing? What's all these pockets? Like, why are we doing that? And how is that working for them? And like, what works and what doesn't? I don't know. It's just like this personal, um, very personal experience. It's like full of feels and all this kind of stuff. Welcome in, Lenny. And then, so personal experience and then consumer experience, because like sellers are also buyers, or sellers, yeah, sellers are also buyers, but sellers have um, different considerations when it comes to the buyer experience, because we're producing the buyer's experience. And we know after a little bit in live sales that buyers do want the products, but who they're buying the products from carries equal, if not more weight, right? So we'll see like two sellers selling the same thing, but seller A can sell it for $100 and seller B is like trying to run $1 starts and can't sell a freaking thing. And so it's like it's more about the experience that seller A is creating, that type of thing. So the buyer experience and then the seller experience, because the sellers, um, but I've never had a brick and mortar, so I can't speak to like a comparison there. Uh, but the seller's experience is obviously different than that beautiful girl. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. The seller's experience is obviously different in this environment because the environment's different. Long story short, but it's we're so um we're so what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's not unfiltered, but like if we buy, we're used to corporate America, and where like if we have, there's every company, most companies are huge, and we're used to these huge companies that have like layers to them of employees, right? And so we are so, as a consumer, we are so far away from the ownership of the company that it's like we don't even try to make the connection anymore, you know what I mean? Whereas selling, like business owning in this environment, we are directly um associating with our buyers. Like there's nothing in between. There's no middlemen. There's no, I mean, people can have employees and stuff. Thank you for the share. Vintage Gypsy. We have no middlemen. We have nothing in between us and who we're accountable to. So I think that changes things, right? Because that experience as a seller is like, oh shoot, like let me make sure X, Y, and Z because they're going to take the pitchforks out and they're going to leave me bad reviews. And it's not. I can't blame an employee. I can't blame a boss. I can't blame nobody because it's me, right, front and center. For everybody to to be just responsible for everything, and I don't know. So that's what we're talking about. Long intro, but that's what we're talking about today. I don't know how I just got to 20 minutes with that, but that is the short of the long of it. We're gonna dive in a little deeper with just like some thoughts on each of the things, but let me see. I think there's two shares before we dive in. Is there any questions or anything before I get started? Because I feel like I just rambled so hard for a minute. Thank you guys for hopping in here. Also, thank you, thank you. And I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody had Friday off. Um, Today's my Monday. I was doing a little bit of something yesterday, but otherwise, I had a 4-day weekend. So I'm like easing back into it. It very much feels like a Monday to me. No questions. We're here for the listens. I'm good with that. Okay. You guys. So regarding experience, White Owl, make sure I'm following you. Welcome in. Welcome in. So regarding experience, the quote for today is a Maya Angelou quote. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I think this is a really solid quote to remember as we're building our live sales business because we are building an experience and it is anchored in experience. And so the more we can remember and factor that in, like how do people feel when I do my show this way, when I show up in this way, when I package my products in this way, how does that make people feel, right? Because I am of the opinion, hello, that the sellers that find themselves moving on up are the ones that are keenly aware of this here. That said, the shout out for today is TVC Productions and Betsy Together. I don't know what Betsy's current name is. I thought it was TVC Betsy, and then I thought it was TVC Grinch, and then it was something else, but the other half. So both of them, if anyone knows, feel free to tag them. But TVC Productions is the shout out because I think that Jen specifically, but Betsy as well as a duo, they really. Oh, the crab. Thank you. Thank you, Tober. TVC Betsy and TVC Crab. They're a duo and they make it a point. They have amazing success on here. I think primarily because they make it a point to make sure every single person coming into their room feels welcome. And John Diana, welcome in, and feels like they belong there and can exist as they are there and are appreciated as viewers and appreciated as customers and appreciated as raiders. You get a freaking slipper slap every time you raid into that show. You know what I mean? They anchor into this. They want, it's almost like part of their business model. Like if they had like a mission statement, it's like make every single person feel seen and feel um Tasha LeRae, how you doing? Hey, that's what's up. We're trying. We're doing these Tuesday bits on the YouTube to hopefully like grab a couple people over to the whatnot and this kind of thing, get some hours in there. We're on a 365 YouTube experiment if anyone didn't catch that. So every day there's a different video posted there about live selling, and then multicasting Tuesdays for the rewatch, but also just to like grab some folks that may be scrolling through YouTube that don't know about Whatnot and this kind of thing. So thank you for the tag. So if anyone's not following TBC Productions and TBC Crab, I highly recommend, because I think they really are like the perfect example of creating an experience for their community, and it translates to sales. They are a premier shop. Um, well deserved, I think, primarily because of this. And I've seen their let me plug this in. I've seen their buyers and supporters like tip crazy amounts and show up for them in ways that they don't um sorry for the shake, and show up for other sellers, and it's because they're reciprocating how they feel when they're in that show and this kind of thing. And so if anyone's not got with them yet, I highly recommend just go sit in their show for a little bit, rate them one or two times. You'll know exactly what I mean. And so Ardmore, welcome in. Or I feel like I pronounced that wrong. I'm pronouncing that wrong. Candle Co. Is this handmade candles? Make sure I'm following you. Under day 37 sold two of it. Heck yeah. Handmade candles. That's what's up. Let's take a little peek right quick. Welcome in. You're coming to a chat show. Coming to a chat show. We are talking about the live sales experience today. Just sharing some thoughts to kind of generally give us some stuff to chew on. Give us some stuff to chew on as far as the experience, our own, and then the buyers and our seller experience. Started making custom candles for viewers. Ooh, heck yeah. Are you familiar with, oh man, what's their name? There's a candle maker that does live customs, and you can mix and match the scents and stuff. If it comes to me, I'll share it. Yes, Keen Candle. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look at you. You got a thrift shop trading card already? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, you know what? I feel like I was in Thriftworks show when he showed that card. I feel like I was. Good on you. Heck yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, zero worries, Titus. Zero worries. Let me bookmark some of these shows. You're just hitting the ground running. Look at all them bookmarks. Okay. You guys, if anyone missed it, two quick shares before we get into the topic, or three, I guess. One is that we finally got a trading card. Shout out to Simply Smarter Shopping for gifting it over here. Yo, yo, yo. How you doing, Tiny? Thrift shop trading card is arriving within the month, I think. And what was the other thing? What was the other thing? Thrift shop trading card. Oh, rewards program. I think they're finally decided on what they're going to be, like 99%. And so probably this next week, we're going to initiate rewards. Shout out to Mickey, Heightened Normal Design, for being like, do it, quit making excuses. So we're doing that. And then, so we're going to have some clubs. We're going to have some clubs here soon. Partnered with the wood sales, because we got to have stuff to sell, right, to do that. And then what was the other thing? Oh, there was a new blog post out, which couples with the Whatnot Sellers show tomorrow. I just put a raid show up for tomorrow if anybody would like the reminder. Welcome in, YouTube. If anyone would like the reminder, that the blog post is about, you guys probably saw the email. Whatnot hit 1 billion with the B sales on since they started, which is like amongst the records for, they've been they launched in 2019, so 6.5 years or something like that. And that is so much money and so much growth for a company that was like just friends trying to sell each other Funko Pops in the beginning. If anyone didn't know, like that was the start. And so huge kudos to Whatnot. The blog post is pretty short and sweet. That's basically it's just sharing, hey, we hit this big milestone. And there's a couple of quotes in there from different sellers from like different sellers from different countries that talk about their own milestones. Um, and then tomorrow for the Whatnot Sellers live stream, it sounds like they have a couple co-hosts lined up potentially to talk about their milestones and wins. And so so anyway, so we're gonna go watch that and head over there at 11 a.m. Pacific if anyone wants to join uh the raid over there, or just go bookmark Whatnot Sellers, because that's probably going to be kind of cool. It's, there's big things like that I feel like are unique, are kind of special for those that are here today, right? um 20 million people that joined the platform within this last year didn't get to experience everything in the first 5 years, right? And so 20 million people seems like a lot, but Whatnot is still like crumbs compared to what it's gonna be, in my view. And so everybody coming even this year are still like first movers. And so we get to experience the first things and the milestones, right? We get to experience when before raid trains were a thing, before all kinds of categories existed here. Like we get to experience all the the 2 hour giveaways, if anyone remembers that, and just like all the evolution of things. And so it's kind of like a special thing that just that we get to be here at the time. So like later we can be like, yeah, I remember like Whatnot was, they had like 5 categories, or they had like, I remember when they celebrated 1 billion sales, and now they're like 100 billion sales company or annually or something like that. And so kind of cool, kind of cool, if nothing else, just to know about. But anyway, so we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. So let me make sure I don't have nothing else on here. I didn't see any updates or promos aside from that. And so yeah, so I guess that's it besides the topic. I guess that's it besides the topic. I fixed my bra. So all right, make sure we're good there. Okay, so diving into this live sales experience topic, it's just some thoughts, just sharing some thoughts to kind of put a mental pin in if any of the things kind of like resonate in some kind of way with what you have going, or something if you're like, oh, I never thought about that before, or that would be something to work into my live shows, or just not forget about, or whatever like that. That's kind of what it's for. Kelly's Place, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. And so I guess we'll start with the personal. So basically I have notes. I do have notes. We do have notes. But I don't know how much in depth we're going to go into each of them, besides just like sharing them, like how they're written. So we'll just kind of see where it lands together. Okay. So approximately 3 bullets for each. And so let me get a sip. Let me get a sip. Welcome in, Eric. Eric Tay. So for personal, these are really targeted towards live sellers, even though the different perspective, these apply to the different perspectives. And so like our personal experience of in the live sales space is super freaking unique to the person. Lori, welcome in. Super unique to the person. So when we look around Whatnot, especially if we've been here for a little bit, we tend to see, hello, we tend to see uh communities and pockets, and like different compartmentalization of categories and like sizes of sellers, right? You have like your premier sellers all the way down to your hobbyists and this kind of thing. It's just like so different countries, so many different types of people that this first bullet is just a perspective thing, reminder, friendly reminder, because we when we're on for a little bit, we get our algorithm starts going, and then we start seeing like stuff that is familiar. Our experience with the app, our personal experience, is unique based on our algorithm, and we kind of forget that there's like all this stuff out there that is by and large invisible to us. And so, but I think it's important to remember for a couple of reasons. Uh, Partially because sometimes we get stuck as sellers, and we feel like, well, I can't get folks in my shows, I can't get, this, that, and the other. I can't seem to tap into all these things. And I think if we remember how big of a place Whatnot is, then it makes it obvious that we could just like, you know, uproot from where we're at and then like plant our butt somewhere else. And then we have a totally different personal experience, right? If we take ourselves out of arts and handmade and put us in a sales category, our experience would be different. The buyers are different over there. It's like, it's just different, right? If we get out of our comfort zone and do raid trains, right? We go get on Raid Train app and we go start signing up for raid trains, cross category stuff. Our experience will be different. Our exposure will be different, right? Um, we we there is every different type of person, just human, that exists outside of Whatnot also exist within Whatnot, right? Every age from what, 15 or 16, you can start selling on here with parent permission and oversight, all the way up to, I think I've seen sellers in their 70s. I've seen folks live stream Kelly's mom, right? Like there's folks, Mickey's mom, grandma. We see folks spanning like 60 or 70 years age difference on this platform. We see folks that are fresh out of high school, college graduates. We see long time, like decades long, small business owners that have been selling on eBay for 30 years, for instance. We see folks that are just starting out, or like just jumped off the corporate ladder, and they're just, in the wake of COVID, and then they're coming here, something like that. There really is like every um culture represented. There's every income level, right, represented. There's every nationality represented. There is everyone on the platform, right? And so everybody that's outside is inside also. And the ones that aren't here as much, like they're coming, right? And so um, that means two things. That means our possibilities as a seller is basically unlimited, right? That's the first main thing, is our possibilities as a seller and our reach, because it's global, basically, are basically unlimited, right? If we don't pigeonhole ourselves in a certain pocket. But then also, ooh, there's something else I was going to say about that. I love that you guys are just like, oh, we're just here for the listens. It's very quiet chat today. Let me see. The pigeonholing ourselves, the opportunity, and the, I might have to come back to that. My notes are a little bit squirrely. Individual, every walk of life, prior experiences. I don't remember what it was. And I appreciate that. Super appreciate that. So um I don't know. So I guess it just keeping just knowing, just knowing that on a personal level, every single person that's here, including ourselves, oh, comparison, is everybody's experience is as individual as the person, as the individual human being. And so um when we're coming in as a seller, if we're trying to do the live sales thing, I think it's important to keep in mind, because when we get like tunnel vision on certain, like whatever stuff should look like, it takes us away. We start comparing and it takes us away from just like, well, why are we here? Why are we here? What are we here set out to do? Faded, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. And so I feel like this perspective can just kind of help us like realizing how big it is, and each of us individually, some of us feel bigger than we are, but like we're just a drop in the pond at this point. Like it's just like going on YouTube. It's like it's so established that you go try to put videos on YouTube, you're a drop in the pond. um Not to say we're like insignificant in our own right, but like in the big picture, the point is that it's okay to just like 1,000% do what you came here to do, and like focus on that, because like everybody is doing everything. I know that's a ramble. I gave a warning. That's how this one's going to be. Joy, how you doing? Welcome in. And so that's the first thing, just the personal experience, just that perspective that it's so big and there's so many of us and we're all doing different things, and it's okay that everybody, there's going to be, I know that a lot of folks try to preach that there's like right and wrong ways to do stuff. uh, do you, basically, that's the point. And because there's a lot of things that haven't been done yet because it is still early, so just show up as you and do you. But also, oh, that was the other thing, is also uh it kind of serves as a reminder as a seller that everybody coming into our show is like that as well. Every single person, so 25 in here, every single one of the 25 that are in here have a unique personal experience. Your experience with the platform is totally different based on how long you've been on, where you were kind of coming from, like your past experiences. Just it's all individual. We start to kind of think that we like think alike and that we kind of like vibe, more than we do, but it's like we all really, it's like 25 individuals, you know what I mean? And um so that's the first thing. Just that reminder of like how big and how diverse. Okay. So little note I put with this is just for the live sales experience. Takeaway for the personal aspect is just that um, staying open minded and in a state of like, curiosity almost is like for the win in my view, because what I see, I think that counters like making a conscious choice to just be like, okay, I'm just going to try my best to keep with fresh eyes every day and a fresh mind and fresh perspective. I think that can contribute to long-term success, because the longer we're in something, you kind of acclimate and you forget the new experience or the differences, because you just see the same thing all the time. And so all that to say, um, open-mindedness and keeping things new and fresh for the win. Sometimes I even like will try to shake up my algorithm and just go places on the app that I haven't been, just to remind myself that like, no, what I see is not, this is only just like the tiniest sliver of the platform. It's just a humongous place out there. When I start feeling like I'm hitting a ceiling, or that the opportunities are dwindling or whatever like that, I just like go somewhere else, and then I'm reminded like, oh no, there's a ton going on. Okay, so on to the more better parts to talk about, I think, which is consumer and producer experiences. These I think are key for our operations, because again, we're selling, so we're crafting the experience. We're crafting the experience. We can be consumers too, but just putting ourselves in the consumer's shoes so that we can better um, craft the experience for our buyers is more of the takeaway with this one. So what I wrote down here, and this is regarding like the fact that this is a new landscape. What I wrote down is that now, today, with live sales experiences, sources matter differently than they did before. Entertainment matters differently than it did before, and expectations um, matter a little bit more than other businesses, right? And so I'll break these up a little bit with the consumer experience and the consumer lens. How you doing, Tasha? Thank you for seeing the or tapping into the YouTubes. I was an adult, you guys. One quick thing, and then I'll keep going on this. I'm figuring out how to like pre-schedule shows, and I'm trying. I don't know how consistent I'll be able to be with it, but there was a show that just today's show just dropped right as we were going live here, and it's a tour of the studio. Shout out to Stay Home to Shop for being like, you really need to tour your studio because it's. I know a lot of live sellers feel like you just never have enough room and enough space, and I have two channels that I operate out of a little less than 100 square feet. And so I did like a little 360 tour and posted it on YouTube so you guys can see like how it's set up. And so maybe it can give some ideas on your own setups, because if it can fit in here in an 8 by 12 space, then it could fit in any spare bedroom, dining room, rec room, basement, anything like that, storage unit, anything like that. And so that's on there. Thanks for the hearts. Um, that's part of so no one knows yet. There's one person that knows. Um, I'm waiting for a certain benchmark to share that all the way. It's kind of an experiment, but kind of I don't know if eludes the right word, but contributes to the point that Whatnot is a humongous place. It is a humongous place. I've only been live on there 5 times so far, but the crossover between that category is like, I'm curious to see if anybody from this channel will even realize where I'm at over there, but just because it is so big. But it'll come out at some point. Bunny, how you doing? If there's any brand new sellers in here, Bunny made some fantastic shipping resources that are um, chef's kiss if needed. Highly recommend. She knows what she's talking about. CC Treasure Chest, welcome in. Yeah, isn't that fun? Then when we get more space, we fill it up too. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, sometimes like being restricted to like, okay, I have to work with what I have is like a blessing, because you're like, okay, I got to get rid of something if I want to bring this new thing in. And so I was in my kitchen for Bunny, so was I. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I was at my kitchen table for 2 years. 2 years. We have a small house too. Like that was my stuff was spread out all over the place. We got 2 kids. We got 2 big dogs. Like it was like a whole. It was like a whole thing. Setting up and tearing down. Like wasted so much time of my day on the front end and back end of live shows. That huge contributor to burnout early on. It was terrible. I do show my face on the other one. Yep. Yep. Um, not if it's health food. For a channel, it's not health food. I can say that. Even though that would be good. Island Girl Mick, how you doing? More space means we can get more supplies, right? I mean, to each their own. 10,000 square feet and use 950. You don't need it. Wow, that's amazing. That's good, like self control. Because I know most people would be like, dude, I'm about to get 12 pallets just because I can, because I got the space for it. Just put them all right there, you know? That's hella funny. Started my mom's dining room. Hey, dining rooms, all you need is the table, right? You just need a table. You just prop up your phone across from it, and you just need somewhere to put your stuff, and you're in business. I wasn't even FaceTiming for the first year because I was like, I don't have a backdrop. I don't even have it. And then when I was like, um, I have to show my face to do this chat show, and really this started out as like an accountability thing. I was like, okay, well, backdrop's going to be my fridge, and that's what it was for like a year. So just work with what you have. Yeah, quality over quantity. I agree. Purple turtle hobbies. How you doing? How you doing? So if you're just coming in, we're talking about the live sales experience and just some stuff to chew on. Mickey, how you doing? Mickey, I got my rewards dialed in. I just didn't put them in. I just need to input them at this point. But I think they're going to be a good starting point to dabble with. They're not anything crazy, um, but there's some clubs. We got some clubs in the works. That being said, we're working on large accounts, so we will start using some of the space soon. Fair enough. That's a good, especially I will say that, like, because I'm not high volume, and so if I was, space requirements would be different. I cannot put a pallet in here, for instance, and I only have like 5-6 feet of counter space to do my shipping. Um, which is works for me for the volume that I do, but for some, they'd be like, I can't function in this. So to each their own. So so where are we at? Consumer experience. Consumer experience. This is this is the things to keep in mind. The sourcing change, mattering change, the entertainment factor, and the expectations are, just doing an abrupt segue, are unique with live sales. Are unique with live sales because we are directly connected to the source. We're directly connected to the source. And so we simply shop differently in this environment than we do on other platforms. Like, even when people come to Whatnot as just a buyer, uh facetiously, I don't say that about people, but if people come on as a buyer first, I'll say, it takes a second. There's hesitation exploring the platform and figuring out who to start swiping with, and and we ask questions differently, and we choose who to return to based on different things. Like, if we're shopping on Amazon, for instance, we're not connected to the source, right? If we're shopping on eBay, even, or Etsy, even at this point, it's like we're not connected to the source. We can generally say this is where this came from, but we can't confirm, like, this thing that I got off Etsy is handmade by this person. We can't confirm that. If we buy something on eBay, we may see the screen name and we may be able to check reviews or something like that, but we're disconnected from the human being behind it. You could have, not saying this is the thing, but you could be purchasing from the worst human on eBay, because all you see is their shop, right? All you see is the bio and the listings and the products. It's product centric. Live sales are human centric. They are social centric. They are, um, the human being that you're purchasing things from factors largely into the equation today, more so than it did before, and we choose differently based on that. If we go shopping with someone on Whatnot, yes, it really is. Welcome in, Tina. If we go shopping on Whatnot and somebody, stock fish, what are you talking about? uh if we that just totally made me lose my train of thought. If we what was I saying? If we're shopping stockfish, um if we uh what was I saying? If we're shopping on Whatnot, if we're shopping on Whatnot, if we're in somebody's live show and we're shopping and we're swiping and we're having a good old time, and then the person that we're buying from like crashes out for some reason, right? We're immediately like, you know what? I think that's the last purchase. Unless you're like friends already or something, have like a relationship, you're like, actually, I don't want these products that bad. I can get them from somewhere else, right? Because the person, like sometimes even if it's like you like the person, you like the channel, you like the products, all that kind of stuff, but then as the channel gets bigger, the person, the face of the company changes, right? It changes the consumer experience. And so you could have a big channel that frequents like 100 frequent flyers, that you just change the face of the company, that main seller, and those numbers are going to drop by half at least, because the consumer experience is interested in the person more so than the products, right? And so people care who they get stuff from more so than in the past. And so knowing this, knowing that people shop differently based on this can help us strategize like how we want to show up and where we want to put focus on in our shows and in our process, because they're here for us also, not just the products. I know that there's diversity within this, but in general, that's unique to live selling. And so have run across that with the seller. Yeah. And it goes all the way through, right? So if we I like shopping handmade on Whatnot because I know that that's the source, right? I can choose sources differently. If I'm shopping with a handmade seller, that I'll use what Liz likes as an example, that in their shows they can say, I use all natural, all raw ingredients to create this concoction. This is a house recipe, and I can tell you literally every single thing that's in this product, and maybe not sharing like the trade secret on the process of how it's made, but you can shop consciously, right? You don't have to do the guessing game of when you're in the grocery store and you're like, I don't really trust like 90% of the stuff in here, like, because the labels, I don't trust them. There's too many filters in between me, the buyer, the consumer, and the owner who's accountable for giving me that information, that I just don't trust it. There's too many filters in place. When we're face to face live selling with the consumer, they can be like, hey, what's in that? Where'd you get it? How do you know that's real? Things like that, right? So we can shop differently based on those. And I think that matters because, like, if we know that, then we can be like, hey, here's why you want to buy these things and all that kind of stuff. Lost Mermaid, how you doing? A connection is freaking huge. A connection is huge. And actually, that's a good segue to the next thing. So let me see. So I wrote down for sourcing, changing with the live sales experience, it's people over products, product transparency, and authenticity. These things can be um, in the spotlight with live sales in a way that they can't be and are not with traditional online sales. And then connection, I put it under entertainment because this is huge too, right? If we go we stay and we return to where we feel good, right? We feel better being in places with good vibes. We feel uh better where we can just like kind of sit back and just kind of enjoy ourselves and just be entertained and stuff. If we go to the same show a number of times, uh we end up building, even just as a viewer, we end up building some kind of trust with that seller. And so it contributes to like the consumer experience, because even though we're not buying, usually that's like the interim to making purchases. And so when we can entertain, which is to say we can connect with our viewers, this directly translates into sales, directly translates into sales. And so if we miss, we talked about this before with the entertainment factor in general. If we don't have this entertainment factor built into our model, we're missing a huge part of the consumer experience, right? And so, uh, Biba, yes, it should be. If you're there still, it should be. You can ask questions, know what's in and what you're getting, 100%. Yeah, you can have like stuff personalized and customized. Candles, customizing candles live, like that's unique. Um, that's a different consumer experience that you don't get elsewhere. Maybe locally, maybe locally, but not on this stage at this scale. It hasn't been a thing until now. And so it's just very unique and it creates like different opportunities and different room for strategy as far as like how we're going to connect with consumers if we understand like what consumer or consider what consumer um, uh, determine their shopping habits and their time, where they spend their time and why and stuff like this. It's just different. Awesome. Yay. And people are more bold online. People will ask and say things online that they would. You know what is funny about that? Ardmore is that am I saying that right too? Is it Ardmore? Or is it like Ardmois? Is it like a French kind of a thing? Ardmore. Okay. So this is a good point that you bring up because typically online sales are not in real time, right? I don't have experience doing like any. I know that there's like Whatnot's not the only live sales platform. I know that TikTok, you can buy things in real time. You can uh Facebook probably has that option if you can go live on there, but I don't think that anywhere is like built for it like how Whatnot is. It's kind of like a secondary add-on type of a thing. Yeah, several other like yeah, um so Whatnot's definitely not the only one, but in general it is still like a new thing. Um so so with not just Whatnot, with all the places that do offer this like live sales platform, it is exactly like that. Like we don't get to be keypad warriors and just I mean, people can be in our chat trolling and saying whatever they want, but we as the real-time live seller, we have to we don't get to hide. We don't get to filter. We don't get to like see a comment and then think about for a day how we want to respond to that or if we want to. It's not like a comment on a YouTube video or a review on Etsy. It's like real time. Like if someone's like, "Hey," I've seen people come into chats and just be like, "Hey, where's my order? You haven't shipped it and I bought it 2 weeks ago." I've seen that, right? Like people are accountable in a way that they weren't before. I've seen people be like, "Hey, I got this and it was broken," and just putting sellers on blast, right? Because it's real time. It's like it's just a totally different thing. It's like, ooh, like um different experience, right? It just is. It was built initially only for wait, there's one original app. Oh, really? That was doing live sales. It was built initially for plants and has been ooh, which do we get to know which one? I'd be curious. That sounds interesting. Oh my gosh, Viva, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That makes me happy. That makes my day, actually. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You know what? Maybe I have heard of that, but I have not seen it yet. So curious to check that out. I should know by now to have a notepad ready. I should know by now. Oh yeah, which you know what? I think that's part of the reason why Whatnot is like, dude, we need to hit the ground running. We need to do their whole motto is like move uncomfortably fast. I think because they know that they're competing with China's ahead of us, you guys. If anyone didn't know that, they've been doing the live sales thing. And so let me look up Palm Street. Did it say street? Palm Street. Street. Biba, I'm curious. Are you a live seller? Are you selling on here? Or thinking about it? Let me know. Do let me know. I have heard of it, but I haven't seen anyone have more success than on here. Oh, okay. Someone said it. Really interesting. And it was pre 2019, huh? Really? Live koi fish a while ago. Maybe Whatnot just had the right investors. Something, because there's reasons we can't say PayPal. You know what I mean? Got a PayPal mafia behind it. Hopefully, I'm allowed to say that. I'm approved to sell over there, but Whatnot has been a better platform to navigate for me. So it's more user friendly. Let me expand this a little bit. Certain categories, people are doing better there because a lot of the Chinese sellers have access to better. Oh, okay. I could see that. I could see that. That's interesting too, because maybe, usually industries have like some kind of oligarchy eventually where it's like, um, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T or something like that. You end up with like not just a monopoly, but there's like 3 or 4 companies that end up like taking a huge market share in their respective like niche or kind of marketing campaigns, or branding is a little bit different and people kind of choose. So maybe Whatnot is going to have a position like that where they're not going to monopolize the market, but they'll be one of like 3 or 4 that have kind of focus on different products. Pretty small, not user friendly search. Shipping is better potentially. Makes sense. Then I have rule for the mystery. Oh, Bunny. That's a whole situation. That is a whole situation right there. That's another thing. Speaking of like OGs and celebrating like milestones and stuff, there's like some stuff that folks coming into the platform are never going to be able to experience because they're gone completely. Mystery games aren't all the way gone. Gifting is, right? But Beast, welcome in. But and Crafting with Chris, welcome in. But mystery games are not what they were. They were how Bunny is kind of describing them. And Whatnot said, nope, we're not doing that no more. A lot of people leaving. I believe that TikTok has a huge audience, but I will say if there is TikTok, I have a TikTok. I don't use it. It's not active. But there was a certain point where they were pushing for me to start going live and selling on there. And I was like, I only have like 10 videos up. Why me? It's like either you're just on this big campaign to onboard folks, or I don't know what it is. But they in from where I'm sitting, they have like large audiences, but TikTok's algorithm is not their app is not built the same as Whatnot, and this has to do with live sales and building an experience. Whatnot is the name of the game for live sales on Whatnot is retention. The name of the game for TikTok and their algorithm is max viewership. It is viral content, not sustained content, if that makes sense. It's viral stuff. In other words, you could go on TikTok and post a video and it have like 10 million views. One video, no reputation, no longevity, no nothing, no, just the first video could go viral. Whatnot is a is a is a retention game. You're not there's no like you're going viral on Whatnot. It's like, but Whatnot is when you connect with buyers, when buyers and sellers vibe on the experience level, those buyers return over and over and over again. Once you establish and build that trust, right? Um, they're coming back. And so, Whatnot and this live sales, the way they have it set up, you get this compound effect over time. I think that's unique to hear. Like, whereas eBay, for instance, you can sell something to somebody, and correct me if I'm wrong, if there's like eBay sellers in here, but there's no bias to the seller. You're there for the product specifically, and then you're like, thanks, bye. There's no like, ooh, let me make sure because I love this seller, this eBay seller so much. I just always got to check in with them on Tuesday to see what else they got and stuff. You're just like on to the next. So, oh, you're doing some sewing. Heck yeah. Working on inventory now, but I'm a buyer and fell in love with Whatnot and make handmade bag. Ooh, Biba, I would love to see some of your handmade bags. You guys, I need my hippie bags are falling apart. I've had them for years. Natural State, hi, how you doing? And so I'm on the hunt for some handmade hippie bags. I'm just saying, like those big crossbody type that are just like rainbow child looking. If y'all see them, please tag me. Please do. Okay, so we haven't got through the process. Okay. They were for a while, and then all the trade shows, and they've been really pushing for sellers to sign up. Yeah, Jen's beautiful pens. How you doing? I feel like people come here to buy, and then they go to TikTok to choose. Probably, probably. I know that when there were a few sellers that were like basically multicasting. I think they had two different devices, so like two separate live streams, but um, doing TikTok and whatnot, and they were like responding to all kinds of stuff for the TikTok, but we could hear them oversee those conversations on whatnot. I was like, what the hell are people talking about over there? But they get like hundreds in a room easily. Like TikTok just dumps people in their room. So it's like odds are there going to be some trolls and stuff. So happy Tuesday. Heck yeah. Appreciate you coming and listen. Let's see. The trouble here that Whatnot has is the experience in other categories I've worked in is Whatnot will always protect the bigger. Oh yeah, they have to. They have to because they're a for profit. They have to. Fortunately or unfortunately, I think you know it's business, and it just kind of they just have to do what they have to do. Um, whether we like whether we like it or not, I suppose. But you know, is what it is. There's been some awful experience with the buyer and the seller I've personally had and witnessed. eBay is finding 1,000 different one-time purchases, no relationship at building it all. Money, spot on. That's exactly. And so it's, personally, Whatnot's a better place just because of that. But that said, not everybody is built for live sales. It just is what it is. Everybody can do it. Uh, but just because everyone can doesn't maybe necessarily mean that everybody should. People definitely have like different strengths and weaknesses. And like I was saying with the personal experience, there has to be a real open mindset to be able to function and progress and grow in this space. Tober, do you make hippie bags? I feel like I've not seen your bags. Um, Let me just make a little note. Tober bags. I'm gonna have to come have a look see. Teresa, welcome in, and Tesla, welcome in. Hmm. Okay, I'll try to remember to send a pic of the ones that I have that are falling apart because basically want just like that, something just like that. Okay. Let's see. Entertainment and then expectations is the next one. Let me read this real quick, and then we'll hop back over. So it is, but there have been fraudulent sellers that were allowed to continue selling. Oh, well, I guess it can be hard sometimes, but just usually my go-to quote is protect your energy. And so and I get this is a little bit of a side quest, but I get a number, it actually kind of surprises me. I get a number of direct messages. I try to say every once in a while, like my inbox is open for just like whatever I may or may not be able to assist with or point in the direction to if I can't answer certain things. Um, but I do get a surprising number of, more so than questions, I get like surprising numbers of more or less like, I guess it could be in the category of like feedback for whatnot that is regarding like um maybe favoritism or things that don't seem fair on the app. And it's a hard thing, and I definitely understand the frustration when there's like, it seems like there's double standards and there's things like that. Um, but typically the response is something to take or leave. But typically the response is something like, do we know the Serenity Prayer? I was trying to do it verbatim last time, and I kept forgetting exactly how it goes. But something like, accept the things um, that just knowing the things that we can control and the things we can't, and like really it comes down to protecting our energy and just not allowing our bandwidth to be taken up with what other sellers are doing or not doing. Like there's some, to some degree, so like I get to directly give feedback to whatnot, and like I don't take that for granted, right? Very grateful to be in the position to do that. um but I'm definitely not like championing anything that is um besides, I do constantly bring up that handmade and resell should not share category because algorithmically they work against each other. I will die on that hill. But the other things are like, I'll just give my feedback and then I'll just leave it alone because it's simply not. It doesn't. It just, the energy worrying about the stuff that we can't control just takes away from, we could be putting it into other areas of our own stuff. And so I don't know if that's helpful for anybody, but that's kind of the mindset that I ended up landing at, because it's just not even like, when you spend like an hour thinking about something and you're just like, dude, I could have been doing other stuff in that hour. So if that's helpful for anybody, I don't know. Tober, exactly. Exactly. So I digress. Okay, you guys, keep me on track here. We are talking the consumer experience. The consumer experience. Biba, do it scared. Do it scared. Do it nervous. Um, Nothing to it but to do it. It's just a bunch of regular people out here. Everyone just beat bopping to their own tune. Nobody better than anybody else. Everybody's just regular humans. We put on pants one leg at a time. You know what I mean? Don't be scared of none of these people out here. Kelly, welcome in. So the consumer experience. So we talked about sourcing is different, right? We're a little more picky about where we buy from and who we buy from. Um, our personal morals and values and feels factor into the equation the way that they didn't before. We choose who to come back to and this kind of thing. So when we translate that buyer experience that we have as buyers into our sales strategy, that's a big win when we can, it's, I don't know that it could happen like overnight, but just, trying to be mindful that that can factor into the equation and have like big results. I think it's kind of the key there. Ardmore, you just hop, you just hop in them. Welcome in, Dana. And so sourcing matters, and so when we're selling, we can highlight and double down on, this is straight from the source, this is exactly where I got this from. This is how you know it's authentic. If you're handmade, do some live demo so folks know without question that your hands made that thing, right? There's different ways we can work it into our business model and strategy. And then entertainment, because that's like the feels and the connection and stuff like that, which we don't, entertainment, just on the record, does not mean high energy. It does not mean hype stream. It doesn't mean fast pace. It doesn't mean a lot of things it doesn't mean the viral content type of energy. Um, Entertainment just means uh, being present with the audience in a way that is like authentic and like you're here fully, like you're with the audience in whatever it is that you're doing, right? Like chill vibes are totally allowed, and like all the different ends of the spectrum have a place there. There's different buyers and viewers looking for all the different forms of entertainment. Like some people like the ASMR, some people like the just like craft along, right? Like there's different stuff for everybody, and so but just like some form of entertainment, some any form of entertainment is key. I have to because I put them on laying down because of my oh, okay, okay, fair. Okay, fair. um I feel you. That's valid. Connecting with the audience, connect with the audience, um to makes good entertainment as a rule of thumb. And then expectations, this little blurb, this is the last one for the consumer experience. This little blurb has to do with just knowing, just really knowing that live sales uh comes the live sales experience as a consumer comes with a reset of expectations. If we are used to purchasing online from Amazon, we're used to those items, we're used to free shipping. Freaking huge. I think we forget this sometimes after we're on Whatnot for a little bit, that like the 20 million that just came this last year, they're used to free shipping. You know what I mean? And so when they come into our shows and they're like, this freaking says $9 to ship this, freaking what are we doing here? Like they think like you're charging them, you know what I mean? And so just being conscious of like, okay, the expectations, there's a recalibration of expectations. You're not receiving many packages that are purchased on Whatnot within 2 days. You're not getting them. They got to be um what, 3 to 14 business days for receiving packages. Curly Q and Faye West, how we doing? And so expectations are different, and just keeping a pulse on this, or just keeping this fresh in our minds, or just reminding every once in a while, can help us meet the buyers and the viewers, and the consumer experience where it's at, because some people are just coming to the platform for the first time. Matter of fact, the influx of new folks to the platform is so huge and so ongoing that we should just assume, it'd be fair to assume that each time we go live, there's a brand new person in our show who's not, it might be their very first show that they're visiting on Whatnot. You might be the first, they may have not made a purchase yet. They may have been in a couple shows but not made a purchase yet. So um there's a calibration there, and a difference in like expectations, where we as the live seller, if we understand the consumer's experience, so we can help that, like, oh, is this okay, so this is your first purchase, so let me, or this is your first time here, so let me explain to you what bin means, let me explain to you how the coupon works, let me explain how this and that and the other, because those um matter, right? Again, going back to the quote, people remember how you make them feel, not what happened, not what they bought. And like, if you can capture, if we can stay in tune with this difference in experience, then we can capture those like first buyers, those new buyers, those new viewers on the platform, because raise your hand, drop a heart or something if you remember like who your first purchase was from. Do you guys remember who your first purchase was from? I know who mine was from. Um, Also, maybe even if you remember like who the first person to buy from you was. Like, do you guys remember that? Might not remember the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, but that first person, right? It's like first impression, like it sets the stage. 3 years ago, Bunny's like, no, I remember like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? It happens. Kathy's great. I love that you just that that's who it was. Judy's like, yep, yeah, it matters. It really matters. It holds a really unique impression on us, that that sets the expectation for like everything else, right? If it's a good experience, if it's a good experience. Not my first purchase, but my first loyal connection. I love that. I love that. Literally, just looked it up because I was curious. Oh, really? Oh, um, do you guys remember who the first person in your show was that you really like? Just like how Black Lab says the first person they connected with. I can tell you guys, I don't know if she's in here still, but the Naked Maple was the first person to come in my show, my very first live stream, and she was just screaming wood in my chat. She was just screaming wood, and she was tagging all kinds of friends and saying, "Hey, come look at all this stuff," and blah blah blah. And I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" And some of the people that she tagged in started purchasing. Crafts by Coley was the first person who made a purchase from me. I will never forget that. She was the first person to leave a review. Do you guys know who left your review the first time? The Going from what you know as experiences with online shopping to yeah, Coley. I freaking love her face so much. I'm hoping that there's a day when she brings her molds back because she does like resin molds, and that's a very unique niche. And I only know one, maybe two other sellers who do that. For she does resin art too, but molds were really her like thing. And yeah, I know. There's a handful of sellers, and I'm like, dude, I want them to come back. I want them to come back, but just selfishly. People that you bought from and sold to aren't on the yeah. There's a lot of turn. It's not a everybody doesn't make it, and it's just and that's part of like knowing the personal experience. I think sometimes like it bums me out when I hear judgment on the what everybody else is doing with their live stream journey, with their live sales journey, because like truly everybody's allowed to do whatever it is that they're trying to do. And like if there's 20 million people, at least a couple million are not going to be here in 5 more years as sellers, right? And so it's okay, right? Like how many jobs have we had before coming to Whatnot? Like you come, like sometimes you're in something for the long haul, sometimes you're in it for a season, sometimes you're in it for a week or a day. The length of time and longevity that there's no requirement, and there's no like, oh, you suck if you're not here for like if you don't retire on Whatnot, then you're worthless. Like there's not that's not a thing, right? But I feel like a lot of people like um absorb those kinds of judgments of like, well, if you're not this and that, then like you shouldn't even be. No, you're allowed to do whatever it is that you want to be doing here, unless Whatnot says you can't, then you can, and that's just is what it is. And so I don't know, but the fact is that not everybody stays, and so enjoy folks while they're here, I suppose. But when people do stick around, it's magical because there's some people you're like, dang, we've been knowing each other for like 3 years. Holy cow. So I had a person find me just after losing their dog. Aw, use my candles at the memorial. Oh, that's adorable. I love that. You can really connect like for real with live sales. That's really unique, because we remember what we feel, right? We have real connections, real connections, like to where we're going to in-person events and stuff that we make on whatnot. And in live sales, that is unique to live sales, right? And it would just behoove, and that's why this is kind of the daily chew, is just like just thinking about like, wow, this stuff like really is simply different. That's the takeaway with today's chat, is just that it is simply different than, in a lot of ways, than traditional online sales. And the more we can chew on like what the specific differences are, the more we can like double down as sellers of like, okay, this is what's important over here. How my viewers feel is more important than the products that I offer. It just is. And so someone said it was their first experience here, set that bar. Ah, yeah, I love that. I super love that. Ardmore, it is tricky. It is definitely. Is it Kaija? Welcome in. People I connected with the most, we hardly see each other here and now. It's always in other social media, which is fair. You know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because I didn't even have an Instagram until a couple months ago. And I didn't even really start using it until Secondhand Sarcasm's May We Post challenge. And oh, did I say behoove? Quota met. Quota met. Um, but it does span out to more than just whatnot via our socials. It really does. Even like to where the YouTube, like I was saying earlier, the YouTube topics are going to be based on like, I'm going to be putting these chats in a more articulated way into the YouTube, because it's like it's all connected. It's all connected. Zelby, welcome in. Kai. Okay. Okay. I didn't mean to say okay. Okay. Does anybody say that? Okay. Sorry. So Kai, I got it. 100%. That's why we do what we do, share our love for the craft. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Um, that being said, the the takeaway for the consumer experience chew talked about sourcing, entertainment, and expectations. The takeaway is just really looking through the consumer's lens and meeting halfway, incorporating that lens into our process, our strategy, our priorities, this kind of stuff. Um, but also just simply prioritizing the buyer's experience in general, just in general. um I Because it's not one and done. Live sales is unique in that way, specifically because it's not one and done. It does matter if someone chooses to come back to you or not. That matters more in live sales, because that's a huge indicator of what your growth trajectory is going to look like. If someone has 1,000 sales, but they're all one-time sales, what does the future look like for that seller? Um, if that seller changes their focus and prioritizes the buyer's experience, and so where they go, I want the buyer to have an experience that motivates them to come back and buy again. I want that buyer experience to be better. Then they're going to see return buyers, and they're going to be able to grow a buyer base, and that 1,000 sales is going to turn into a lot more, right? And so that's kind of the takeaway there. And I'm gonna try to go through this last portion a little bit faster, okay? A little bit. Oh, oh my gosh, my phone's not even charging. You guys, we're about to die. Hold on. What? Hold on. Why are we not charging? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Something's going on here. Hey guys, we're about to die. Try this one. Oh no. Well, what the hell's wrong with that charger? Okay, this one works. Holy cow. If this cuts off abruptly, it's because my battery died. I think we're good now. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this one. Hold on. My charger died. Weird. Okay. Anyway, so the producer experience is the last little chew for this topic. I know this is like a slower kind of whatever stream, but we're still going with it. Um, the producer experience is the main thing that's unique. Sadie's, welcome in. If you guys haven't seen Sadie's resin art, you're missing out. I'm just telling you. Um, the producer experience, what I wrote down was that number one, you're front and center in real time. That's the most unique thing about live sales. That's something that we have to that's a thing that keeps a lot of us from going live in the first place, right? We know. We may not know exactly how to put a pin on it, but or the words to put our finger on, but but that but that front and center stage, the spotlight on you, um experience as a producer is unique to live sales. It is not the same experience as throwing a listing up on a static listing platform. It is, I'm glad that you're here. It is not, you can list something on eBay or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and you don't there's not really an experience along with that, you know what I mean? Unless a buyer, you can have like bad buyer experiences, or someone comes back and they try to scam you or something like that. Thank you for the hearts. But that is wildly different posting a listing somewhere than like pushing the go live button to where you're just like, oh my God, is anybody going to come in here? I'm just talking to myself. Like, we've all been there, right? As newer sellers, and so it feels different. It's a very unique experience as a producer. But not only are we front and center from day one too, there's no like apprenticeship, there's no internship, there's no ease on into it, there's no blueprint, there's no framework, there's no filter, right? If you do something silly, everybody saw it. You know what I mean? Like, the pressure is different. The experience, it's just very heightened as far as um like everything is intensified about like, oh my God, what if I mess up? Like, because you're on a stage. You're really on a stage. And everything is just simply more intense for that reason. Like, we don't get to just be like, whatever, if you list something for sale and then no one buys it, you don't feel any kind of way about that. But if you're running off, anyone who's been in a raid train, raise your hand if you've been in a raid train and you try to sell something. God forbid if it's even like you try to sell something for $1 and then nobody buys it, you feel some kind of way about that. You don't just keep trucking along with your day. You have to sit with that for a minute. Like, dude, I really feel like I suck right now. I'm like, I need to reevaluate what I'm even doing or what I need to do differently, because this is not going to work for me. I feel like crap. I can't do that. Like, that's not going to work for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's up and down as a producer, like as a seller. In that way, it's just, yeah, you learn how to talk to yourself. You start feeling like, dude, I'm just here, I guess, just, it's just different. And so there's no warm up. And I don't know, you're just so visible. You're just so visible. People can even be watching you on in incognito mode. People can be watching you on the live tiles. Like, you don't even have to know that they're there. You know what I mean? And there's just something really raw about that. And I think we just, consciously or subconsciously know that we're just like so exposed that it just comes with, you just approach it differently. You're like way more careful, way more meditative about what it is that you're doing and how you're showing up, because you're keenly aware that like you have an audience in real time. There's no like, that changes things. It just does change things. Oh, just forever in practice. We're just practice mode. Can we just all be good with that? Just like, we're just here. Student teacher is the word that I like. It's just like, because I know some people, and some that have been on Whatnot for a while. If you've been on Whatnot for more than like 6 months or a year, know that folks are looking at you like you know what you're doing, right? And so it's nice to remind folks sometimes, they're like, nope, I'm figuring it out just like everybody else. Like, there's nothing special, there's no secret sauce, just everybody. It really is like drunk people taking care of other drunk people. Some folks, um, some folks have figured out really good systems for a number of things, but by and large, everyone is learning in real time how to be a producer and how to sell in this environment. There's things that seem like they're working, and then but follow up in a couple years and watch the burnout. Watch the burnout. There because there's a lot of unsustainable operations in live sales. Without diving into that, I know you guys see it, right? There's and so um I don't know. It's just freaking different. No cutscene or retakes. None of that. None of that. It's sink or swim. It really is. So we approach it different, right? It feels different. The accountability is different because of that. And that's the next thing is let's see. Yeah, we don't well, I'll circle back to that one. The next thing really is so we're front and center is the first thing. The next thing with being a producer is that the competition is different. Um, we see we see this a lot in the resell space. I feel like it's most obvious with vintage, but I probably have a biased lens on this. Um, but traditional online sales, the competition is in who can get the most exclusive products, right? Who's got the best source? Who's got the, thank you for the hearts. Um, and Norma, welcome in. And so your competition as a traditional online seller is like you're you're aiming for like you're highly interested in volume, in search engine optimization, in numbers games. You're interested in numbers games. um your competition is the one who can list 100 items a day when you can only list 50 items a day. Looking Glass, welcome in. The competition in live sales is for, in my view, and this is not all inclusive, this is just like some stuff to chew on, right? Is attention. Products do matter, don't get me wrong, but there's like a balance, and attention is freaking huge because if we are not holding attention, if we don't acquire that skill of how that live sales skill of how to hold attention, that attention is not going to convert to buyers, right? Those the viewership is not going to convert to buyers. We have to, this is a skill that we, and again, with just like with entertainment, it doesn't have to be anything flashy or crazy, but it does have to be something. There does have to be something there. Brandon, welcome in. Is that like wall, like Washington or wall? No, wall. Are you in Washington, Brandon? Let me know. But the competition is different, right? And so if we're competing the same way that we compete on eBay, then it's not going to work for us in live sales because our priorities, the live sales environment is different, the buyers are different, the experience is different, and so our competitive angle has to match that. It has to evolve into the live sales experience because the fact that it is experience based means that we have to be competitive over the experience that we're creating. I think that's the best way to word that. Salty, welcome in. And so attention is the main thing. Attention is the main thing. Process has a huge part to play in this, like really dialing in our process, looking at all these different shows and trying to decide like what are the ways, what are the things that are working for other people and which pieces of those may align with my personality and my products, and how could I piecemeal together a show that is captivating, to the point, and retains well so that I can convert those viewers into buyers. Gilded, welcome in. And so competition, it's just different. And then competition connection has to do with that too. If if seller A and seller B have the same products, hello, seller A and seller B have the same products for the same prices and they're live at the same time on the same days. If seller A, and they both have entertaining shows and they both um, create a good experience, they're funny, they're whatever, they keep their shows moving. If seller A is able to connect with you better than seller B, if you can relate on some level, maybe a story that they told, maybe an experience that they shared, maybe something they say that reminds you of, your hometown or whatever it is, right? If they can connect with you better, you are going to shop from seller A, right? If seller B has all the same attributes, but every once in a while they say something that you're like, I don't really understand that, maybe a political thing slides out every once in a while. Nikki August, how you doing? Welcome in. Maybe you're not a pet person and they always have, or maybe you're allergic to cats and then they always have a cat on their inventory. Um, you're going to disconnect, right? So it's just, that's not probably the best example, but it's a competitive advantage being able to relate and connect with folks aside from attention. Holding attention and connecting, two different things. If we're going to pick areas to be competitive in, I think these are areas to look um, at least chew on, right? So that'd be like homework. We'll call that homework. And then afternoon. And then the last part for the producer experience is the accountability. So we're front stage. So we're just like totally vulnerable and exposed, right? There's a learning curve with that for sure. For sure. We got to be on P's and Q's and we got to be like conscious of like how we show up consistently and all that jazz. We got to compete differently and then we have to assume accountability differently. Not to say that we can be less accountable, in other online ventures, but like I was saying before, I've seen folks, buyers, jump into live sellers chats and put them on blast for something that shipped late or something that arrived broken or something that the packaging wasn't great or whatever it is, right? And so, um, as a producer, with no filters between us and our Michelle, welcome in. Between us and our buyers and viewers, it just really means that like we don't get to take shortcuts. We don't get to blame anybody else for anything. Like um if everything we do, if anyone's ever been like a hostess or a receptionist or otherwise front desk for a business, you know this well that like if you're the face of the company, you're the face of the business or operation, everything is your fault. Everything is your fault. It doesn't matter if you're the server, it doesn't matter that you didn't cook the food. You brought it to the table and it's rare and it was supposed to be mid-well, right? It's your freaking fault. Like you're accountable, right? If we're the face and we're front and center, everything is on us regardless, but it's difficult because we have, like we talked about last week, like all the different hats that we have to wear as a small business owner. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Thank you for the follows. We have to be the. Actually, I have it. Look at you guys. I put it on the board for the YouTube video, and so it's like a little more organized. But basically, you have to be the sourcer, the sourcing department. You have to be the live seller, so sales department. One person, lots of hats. You have to be the shipper. You have to run the shipping department. The admin department. You have to be marketing and networking. You have to be managing customer service, research and development, HR, if you have like hire a shipper or whatever, IT, right? You got to set up your cameras and all this. legal and compliance, right? You have to know terms and conditions and updates for the platform that you basically rent space on. Like that's on you. Like you're accountable for all these things. And then money, the financial department. Like we have to wear all these hats and do all these things. If we slip up in any of these areas, we don't, again, like we're not working with a company, we're not an employee. It is, we are 100% accountable for any lacking area in anything. If it takes us 3 days to ship, that's us, right? We're accountable for that. If it takes us, if our sourcing needs whatever, everything's on us, just everything's on us, right? So that's unique to live sales because we don't get to hide behind that anything else with that when it comes to that accountability because everyone can see like no, you're the person who messed up my order. There's no, don't be trying to say that someone else did this, that, and the other. Like you're the one, right? You sold it to me, you told me this, you told me no chips, no cracks, no flea bites, this kind of thing, and then you shipped it to me and you packaged it like this and this is how it arrived. 100% your fault, you know what I mean? And so it's just you didn't tell me what the giveaway was and now I got this and I was supposed to get that or whatever it is. And that's unique to live sales. If we buy something online in traditional online sales, community management, 100%. We buy stuff in other traditional, if we buy stuff on Amazon, if we buy stuff on eBay, we buy stuff anywhere else, we're not sure entirely who to blame, but we'll be like, I'm writing a letter. Something got messed up and I'm writing a letter. I don't know to who, but I'm gonna go Google, you know, customer service or figure out who the hell I'm addressing this letter to. And they're gonna hear about this because that's not, I spent $200 and this is not what the hell I ordered, something like that. But when we're live selling, people are going to be right up in our DMs or right up in our live show saying, hey, you remember this? Yeah, the fuck. And we have to answer to that. Like we have to answer because we are wholly accountable. So that's the point there. Handmade by Spawn. Welcome in. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. And so with this one, they only offer front and center competition and accountability. The takeaway with these are not as much that just that they're there, but they are there. And the sooner we adopt them, the better off we can like tune them in and work them into our model and all this kind of stuff. And we have to embrace all these things because they just come with the territory. Cole, welcome in. But the takeaway here is what I wrote down is time and grace. Time and grace for the win with this one because um, as a producer and seller on in a live sales environment, it's because it is a new experience, right? This is not, there's nobody who is took over their family business of live sales. Like that's not a thing, right? It didn't exist. Afternoon. And so again, like everybody's learning. um, there are no experts, and everybody, going back to the personal experience, everybody comes from all different walks of life, all different experiences, all different like corporate or college realms, and there's all different ages, all different cultures and backgrounds and everything. um, we all have a different starting block as a live seller, and we can see where we want to go, but the path to get there is going to look wildly different on an individual basis because we're all starting from the same spot or from a different spot. And so with this one, I feel like there is so much to learn and evolve into and adapt with when it comes to being a producer of things. Even with handmade, it's like we have to figure out how to describe our stuff, right? And describe the value. What's it called? The value education, like how to incorporate that into our shows. It's just because it's not just, oh, just look at the photos. Doesn't it look bougie and fancy? Then that's why it costs that much. We have to do more live than photos and descriptions, right? And so everybody's on a learning curve, and it's okay that it's gonna it we can everyone wants to hit the ground running, and I get that. But um YouTube says the most like left field stuff. I'm not sure what that means. Damon, can you reword the question? So everyone coming from a different spot, and everyone wants to like just hit like overnight success. Everyone wants their 1,000 sales in 90 days, and everybody wants to have 100 people in their room, and everybody wants to hire a shipper, get to that point, and everybody wants to do all these things and just be popular and just have, do be able to offer $1 starts and free shipping and have people just bid up our items like crazy. But it takes time to do anything that we're trying to do in this space, because we're all coming in at with 0 followers, with 0 sales. We're all coming in and starting at the bottom, and it is a path, it's a journey, it's not an overnight success. We have lots and lots, the point of this is there's lots and lots of new things that we have to learn and practice and incorporate. There's new business strategies, there's new, everything is so new, that we have to give ourselves grace. We have to allow time to learn the things and put into just watch put into practice all the things, and give ourselves grace along the way, because it can get really, you guys know, it can get really discouraging here and there with not like hitting certain numbers or not moving as fast as the Joneses and this kind of stuff. But like really, um we're allowed to just do our own thing and go at our own pace. And so Shadow Tay, welcome in. And so time and grace. That's the takeaway with this last one, because it's just like you got to learn the things. It is different, right? You're not, if there's an expectation to just know everything and be able to do everything and just be superhuman out the gate, that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. If we expect to have not have any bad shows, or just sell out every show or this kind of thing, it's unrealistic, right? And so um, being a producer simply is a learning curve. And so if we can just like sit in that, just like be like, okay, that's what it is. It may take me um, a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years to become the live seller that um, is like a journeyman level live seller, right? That may be a more realistic path, right? But that path still beats corporate. You know what I'm saying? And so this one is like slightly motivational, of just like anyone who just, you feel like, oh man, I've been showing up for 6 months and I'm still having trouble getting people in my room. That's okay. Super okay. There's a lot of folks that are like that, and there's a lot of stuff to learn. And so it's like totally acceptable to be like that. And so um, that's what I got for the live sales experience. Live sales experience. Personally, it's very different on an individual level. Consumer wise, it's very different than traditional online sales, and producer wise, it's very different than traditional online sales, to where we just have to take extra, we just have to put time and thought into those extra nuances in order to be successful in this space. That's kind of the takeaway. That's kind of the takeaway. So I hope, I hope there's like any things that we could put a pin in regarding this topic, because I was tuning on last night, and we're going to break it down in a more articulate way on the YouTube through the week, I think is how I'm going to plan these out. But otherwise, if I missed any key things, definitely let me know. Sadie, thank you so much. I appreciate them tips. Definitely. And thank you for the hearts too. Thank you for the hearts. So aside from that, you guys, we're pretty close to the time. We're pretty close to the time. We're going to be a little more better about the 2 hour cutoff with or clocking out, I should say, during the summer, because I got a mom. Well, my kids are out of school, and so that said, if anybody here has any shows to share, any trains coming up, any things happening and whatnot that we should know about, now would be the time. Definitely, if you just want to share like what you make, and in case anyone, if it's like you say, hey, handmade candles here, um, upcycled bag purses here, whatever like that. Definitely share, which makes so folks that are into that know to follow you. Bunny, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. The kid, yeah, dude, last summer I was like, I was feeling real guilty and I was like, I can't do that again. So matter of fact, so that and take this if this resonates with anybody that has kids. While my kids are out of school, I'm pausing um commissions like customs and I'm pausing raid trains. Not my raid trains, not Artisan Alley, but all the other ones. I'm putting on pause until September. So that I just can like anchor into just like I'll still be here 3 days a week. But it'll be like a minimal schedule until September so I can mom a little harder. Trying to complete. Oh, that reminds me too. There's a description on YouTube, but the Flamingo Bingo starts in July. If anyone's not familiar with that, please check out Faded Flamingo. Faded Flamingo. That is a community-based challenge for the month of July. It is like a full-on, like a bingo chart type of challenge. I was reading through those, and it's good stuff. It's not like sales pressure and all this kind of stuff, but it is like you will grow your community doing this challenge. Let me tell you what. And Faded Flamingo is amazing anyway. So get with her on that. But it's a really good challenge, I'm telling you. So familiarize with it because that's going to come up like in a week. That's going to start. Trying to complete the challenge, but to get 100 bookmarks on my next show, would appreciate any bookmarks. Salty Hawk Threads is going for 100 bookmarks on their very next show. I don't think I've heard that goal before. I love it. I love it. Um, who was that? I know I just saw something. Um, okay, let me come over here. Uh, oh, sweet. Ooh, Bunny. How shortly? How shortly? Lightning, welcome in. Okay, let me go bookmark real quick. So Salty Hawk Threads. Let me give you a follow there. They are at 80 bookmarks for tomorrow. So now they're at 81. So 19 more bookmarks, you guys. That's a pretty cool. Hey, I'm not mad about that goal. That's a good. You guys take note. That's a good drop for the shares. And it's $1 kimonos. That's the show to bookmark. $1 kimonos. 921 max shipping, $5 starts on great. I hate it when they cut off the show titles. Great something. Ooh, you're at 3:30 a.m. on the West Coast, Salty. If I'm awake still, because I work nights, I will be in there. Ruby has handmade pottery and ceramics, handmade design printed papers for junk journaling. Ruby, did you know Artisan Alley Raid Train is going through the paper crafts this next month? Did you know that? We're just going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the paper craft alley and niche on Whatnot. Third Monday next month, which is a good thing too. You guys go, please join us for these artisan alleys. We're just celebrating the niches because handmade's growing, and Reggie, Lilac Bloom, and I are just grabbing 10 awesome sellers from each of the niches and going, here you go, check them out. Right, one-stop shop. Just go see what they're doing over there, and familiarize yourself. Highly curated and vetted Raid Train, and so highly recommend. It's always the third Monday. Also, Island Grove Mick has a K-pop show this afternoon with my glitter canvases. That's what's up. Glitter canvases. I don't think I've seen those from you yet, Mick. That's good stuff. Also, good on you for boundaries are, dude. Anyone that's in their beginning of their live sales journey, get you some boundaries right out the gate. That's one of the things I wish I would have incorporated on day one. Boundaries for the win. Your mental, your physical, and your emotional will all thank you for it because everyone burns out. Everyone. And so boundaries for the win. So Bunny has a Shippin' 101 show Thursday, 1:15 p.m. Central. Also, exotic snacks from around the world every weekend. That's what's up. And she also does seller support Sundays. Seller support Sundays. And again, Bunny has all the shipping resources, you guys, like in all different packages. And so you can get just exactly what you need. And she knows her stuff. So it's all facts in all of her shipping guides. And so if you're um, want any clarity on the shipping situation, that is your girl right there. Black Lab Candles has some hand poured goodness with the candles, unique scents, pet friendly. Heck yeah, that's a good. You don't hear that often. That's good stuff. Son even created his own scent. Come and see me for the story. That heck yeah, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Okay. I'll look for her, Bunny, because that'd be awesome. Is it for the karaoke raid train? I'm not sure which one or which thing. Green and Leafy, how you doing? Sorry, I'm just catching up here. What's 83? Oh, 83 bookmarks. Perfect. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Bookmark 84. They're going for 100. Going for 100. Let's see. How do I find out more info? Mm, wait, I might need help with that. More info on which thing? I know, Bunny, right? So, fun fact, the only reason, the things that really, I have two things. Everybody, if I didn't have, some of you guys hear me preach sometimes that, like, I understand the 24/7, 365, but like, I don't subscribe to it. And not to say that there's a right way and wrong way, but if I didn't have kids and a full-time job, I would probably be like that too. I would probably be like that too. But that said, I am grateful, even though it's like a gift and a curse, I am grateful for having kids and um, a full-time job because it forces me to create boundaries. I figured out pretty early. I share this just so anyone can take it for motivation if it resonates. But I realized pretty early on, 6 months in to whatnot, probably, that I could not compete. Not possible compete with 24/7, 365ers. I couldn't do it. Right. And I can't quit my job because I have other financial things that I'm trying to get at. And so in the meantime. And so I was like, I can't compete with 24/7, 365. So I have to have boundaries because I will kill myself trying to. I will kill myself trying to. Like, I burned out so freaking hard in that first year that I was just like, I don't know if anyone remembers, I almost ghosted completely for like 2 months before coming back and doing this chat show because I was like, I got to figure out some way to show up without the, you know, pressure to bring a whole new batch of inventory and this kind of thing. And gift and a curse, but like highly recommend, depending on the situation, to have like something, even if it's just like one day off, right? Just Saturday, I'm not touching my phone or I'm not getting on whatnot, or the first hour of the day, even easing into it with little baby steps because man, it gets the best of us. This app is so addictive. It's wild. The artisan train. Oh, sorry. So Artisan Alley. So Artisan Alley is what we're talking about. And then what was the question again? Or the oh, the karaoke. So no, but there is a karaoke raid train. Calm_beast does a karaoke train. It's like I want to say it's like a battle if you're into that kind of stuff. But Artisan Alley is a monthly artisan walk where there's just a 3 hour train start to finish on the third Monday each month. That is, we're walking through. We curate, Reggie Lilac Bloom and I curate walking through just a specific pocket of the handmade space, and it's different each month. So January was jewelry, like artisan jewelry. February was the fiber artists. March was wood artisans. April was arts and prints. May was clay. And then June was resin artists. And then July is paper crafts. And August, thanks also because that just reminded me. Yeah, so check out Calm Beast for the karaoke stuff. August, you guys, August Artisan Alley is going to spotlight the art series trading cards. And so I'm going to try to keep bringing this up, that if anybody is thinking about getting a trading card, like the art series ones, don't wait too long because they take about a month to get to you. Someone made a comment about karaoke, so we're pointing them your way, Calm Beast. And so the third Monday of August, we are going to spotlight as many artisans that are available to join that train. There's only like 19 art series cards with Thriftworks, thrift shop cards. And so if you're thinking about getting one, we would love to, or if you have one already, we would love to bring you into that train lineup. And so August, right? So you'd have to have your I can show one too. You'd have to have your submission in, or like you'd have to get it in the works by like maybe 3 weeks or so. Let me see if I can turn this off. If anyone hasn't seen them, they look like this. This is Tiny the Artist, is like original art from these sellers, and this is Lilac Bloom. But there are a number of them, and they're the art series because they have the A next to them. So it's card number 1, card number 18. And so we thought this would be a fun way to showcase just the artisan series that they have going over there. I know, dude. I just now I'm getting my first one, and third time's a charm because it was I might have never got them if I was gonna have to initiate it myself, but there was like Thriftworks, Darren, he offered them when he joined the Whatnot community group, and then I didn't take it, and then he offered them again with the first X amount of Raid Train hosts to sign up with the app, and then I didn't take it again, and then Simply Smarter Shopping won some in one of the shows, and she already had cards, and so she was like, Tamika, go get a card. And I was like, okay, I'll get a card. So now we're joining the club, and I'm already like, you know what, I should do this other one too, and this would be a good idea too. And so I can see how it just like it's like a string on the sweater, and you start going, and then you're gonna be like, you're gonna have like 15 of them or whatever like that. And so thank you for that tag. Yeah, thrift shop cards for the art series. Go get them. Go get them. All right, so I think I missed one or two things here. And let's see if I missed any questions, or if there are any questions or any other shares. Now's the time. And then we're gonna see if my wood sis is on. Close this here. So they have one more show tonight for auditions, and then they have okay, your internet is doing the thing. Yeah, okay. Very good. Yeah, which is fun. And this is the thing, like Whatnot is so, there's like everybody can do everything. It really is like, we don't have to, I just like feel like it's worth a reminder every once in a while that it's so new, right? 1 billion sales are just now celebrating, which is huge. Again, like bookmark tomorrow for the reminder to rate over into Whatnot sellers so they can talk about this like milestones and stuff, and we'll see who they have co-hosted lined up. But it is so new that some of us feel like we look around and whatever we see, that's what exists, and that's the blueprint that we should follow and stuff like this. How you doing, Pratt? If you're in here still, hello. But it's so untapped still. Sometimes that it's not, Calm Beast karaoke thing isn't the first one. but it's there have been some, and then it's like sometimes you hear folks going like, that doesn't really belong on Whatnot. It's like, what do you mean? Like Whatnot is like the world is your oyster. Like you can do whatever you want on here. And if someone tells you you can't, then just go prove them wrong. You know what I mean? If it's your vision, don't ask the people who can't see it to for validation. Like you just go do if you see it, and if you feel like there's an opportunity for it, then go do it, until otherwise prove yourself wrong by trying, but don't listen to other people. Just know that it is like you can do so many things here. Which is part of what makes Whatnot amazing. So let's see here. Okay. You need to do an artist. Oh, you know what? Thanks for reminding me of that. You guys, I'm going to show you one thing and then we're going to go raid. You guys, I'm excited. Let me go see if Homegirl's on. Some of you guys have been watching the wood burning venture. Oh, and if she's not on, I know where we're gonna go. But we've been doing like this wood burning. I found the craft, and then I was anchored into or focused on like doing customs, right? Custom wood burning. So like people's logos and personal designs and stuff like that, or recreating other designs, but putting them in like my medium and this kind of stuff. Oh, there she goes. And it's been like all these techniques in the works, but we finally unlocked like a full process start to finish for doing original art that doesn't exist anywhere else. And so this is the first one, literally the first fully original art piece that is a heat gun art version. It's in the works. It's gonna get color. It's gonna get color on it. But you guys, I'm freaking in love. I'm in love with this piece. And I cannot freaking wait. It's gonna be signed on the back and all that jazz. I cannot freaking wait to find out who's gonna get this thing because I I know what I see when I look at it, but I think it could be it's like a worth a thousand words type of a image that depending on who you are, you may see something different in it. And so for this to be the first one and as everything just like was coming together, it just like really I'm freaking in love, you guys. And so, but this is just the first, and so I'm super excited because there's gonna be original art coming out of here on a regular basis now because the process is finally dialed in. And so we'll see. I was hoping to do some color yesterday, but probably Friday maybe we'll maybe pick up on this again for the live demo. It's Friday's market day, but you guys, I'm freaking stoked to find out whoever gets that because that's gonna. Can you just imagine this in your home, right on the wall, and just every time you look at it, it just makes you feel some kind of way? Like that's how I'm obviously biased, but that's how it rings to me. Is like every time I look at it, I'm like, dude, I could just stare at that. Just stare at it. So anyway, so that would be the art card. Yeah, that's what just made me think of it. That would be the art card. Um, I'm telling you, this thrift shop cards are addictive to where you do start looking around going, oh, I could do one for this too. I could do one for that too. So we'll see. We'll see where they land. But you guys, for now, I super love you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me today. I'm gonna go mom for a little bit, and before I gotta go to work, we are gonna go see Faded Flamingo. It looks like she is talking about the bingo challenge, the Flamingo Bingo for the month of July. So if you're interested in that, hang tight a minute so you can see the bingo sheet and get some info on it. Again, it's community based, and it seems like a really fun time. And it's like you get the network expansion, get a little bit of. Sometimes people do these challenges, and then they realize this is something that I would it should just incorporate into my business altogether. And so when you see what's on her bingo sheet, you'll know what I mean. So highly recommend. Otherwise, now is the time to hop off. And as usual, I want to leave you with the quote, which is Maya Angelou. When it comes to the live sales experience, just remember people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Okay, so I love you guys. Thanks for kicking it with me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye bye.